this is Tiffany from iHeartArtBlog.com, and I'm also on the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft team, and I wanted to show you a new product and a few techniques that I've learned along the way. This is our texture gem. I am using the ice liner, so it's the clear texture gem ice liner, and I'll be showing you the different techniques you can use on canvas and on acetate. So in addition to the texture gem, you'll need a piece of canvas, a piece of acetate. If you'd like to use a stencil, you can use that. This is one of the new Mixed Media Stencils. These are actually reusable. So if you want them to last longer, just add a coat of gel medium or glaze on top and let it dry, and you can just wipe them off nice and clean. So if you need a stencil, go ahead and grab one. You'll also need a tub of glaze, Gelato's double scoop in various colors. I'm using the tropical colors, so I have raspberry, bubblegum, margarita mix, and snow cone. You'll also need the coordinating Art Grip Aquarelle watercolor pencils, a palette or 4 small containers, the collapsible water cup, the dropper tool, several mini misters, and the water brush. So let's begin. So the first thing you want to do is to take your texture gem. I'm using the ice liner which dries clear. You could use the silver, the gold, or even that creamy pearlescent one, but I'm using the clear one, and I have a piece of acetate journaling board from one of these basically bare booklets, and all I did was create sort of a triangular or fractal pattern. You could use a stencil behind it so that you could get it exactly how you want it or as precise as you want it. I just sort of eyeballed it based off of one of the new Mixed Media Stencils from Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft. And then you want to let this dry for about 24 hours. You want it to cure up really, really well. If you have a heat set tool, I don't recommend doing that for this process because you might melt, well, you might melt the acetate, and 2, your texture gem might cloudy up a bit with the heat of your heat tool. So go ahead and let this dry overnight. I would do this step at night, and then you can wake up and work on it in the morning. So I will check back with you soon. So here's my piece of acetate journaling board after 24 hours. The packaging says that it cures between 2 and 3 hours, and then it's permanent after 24 hours. So you could very well work with this after 2 to 3 hours. I just recommend that you don't heat set it. It'll bubble up and it'll cloud. So you can see that I have my little geometrical pattern. It's looks like fractals. I'm going to put this white cardstock behind it just so you can see my technique that I'm going to do. So I'm going to lay that on top. And here is one of my favorite ways to use Gelato's double scoop. I love mixing it with some glaze to create some tinted clear glaze. And when you apply it to a clear surface like this, you can still see through it, so it's translucent. I want this to look almost like a stained glass technique. So all you do is take a Gelato's double scoop of choice. I'm using the Tropicals colors, so this is my bubble gum. You take about 1/8 of an inch, and in a small container you just sort of rub it down. So there's my bubblegum mixture. It's bubblegum tinted glaze. Here's my raspberry, snow cone, and margarita mix. So those are the 4 colors that I've used. They're sort of my go-to colors. And now you can just fill in the parts that you want to color. You can see that I'm almost done, so I have some tips for you. You're going to want to use a really soft, round brush
so that you're almost laying the paint, the tinted glaze on top. You don't want to have a stiff brush that might make a lot of impressions. So something really soft. I'm just using an old water brush. And there we go. So now I'm just going to let this dry, and I'll show you what to do next. Here is some of the texture gems on a piece of canvas journaling board. I wrote the word love and some hearts, and you'll see it a little bit better in a bit. So the way I'm going to color this canvas is by using some Gelato's Double Scoop spray mists, as well as the Art Grip Aquarelle watercolor pencils. And if you want to make your own Gelato's Double Scoop spray mist, you take about 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch of product in a small container like this, and you blend it until it's nice and creamy with just a little bit of water. I like to use the dropper tool from the Gelato's toolkit to add just a little bit of water. I love that I can add my water in small amounts, because sometimes when I do this with my water cup, I tend to pour a little bit too much water. So that dropper tool allows me to control the amounts of water that I'm adding. You can add some water with your dropper tool. You can even pick up your mixture with the dropper tool to add it into your mini mister. I like to add a little bit, and then I shake it up to blend any of the little bits that might be in there. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is my raspberry, and I'm going to spray. And now that it's wet, you can go on top of that to accent or highlight or add more contrast with your Art Grip Aquarelles. And because these are 100% water soluble, it should melt right into your canvas. And now I'm just taking my Stampers Artist pen in white, just adding a little bit of highlights. So here are my finished journaling boards. You can see that once it's cured, it still holds its dimension. This is the Texture Gem Ice Liner on canvas. After it cured, I sprayed it with some Gelato's Double Scoop spray mist, Went in with some Art Grip Aquarelle watercolor pencils to accent some of those colors, and then I used my artist pen in white to highlight the ice liner. So you can do that once it's cured. You can go on top of it and it won't rub off, which is really cool. Here's one on acetate. So all I did was freehand a pattern with my Texture Gem ice liner, and then I filled in each little quadrant once it was cured with some Gelato's Double Scoop glaze mixture. So I think these would make perfect additions for any art journal or scrapbooking album, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with your Texture Gems soon. Thanks for watching! Again, this was Tiffany from iHeartArtBlog.com on the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Design team. See you later!